Hello everybody, how's everybody doing today? We have a lot of reading to do. If you have noticed, I sent you instructions on Canvas on what we had to do today. Yay! So here is what we're going to do. We're not going to have a video conference because you have a lot of reading to do, but we are going to have a video conference on Friday if we don't get back to going to school. It is possible that we're going to be going back to school, which is what I'm hoping for. So if that happens, then we don't need a video conference. But if we don't go back to school on Friday, then we'll have a video conference then. We're going to work on the pages that I assigned. But here's where we're going to start. We're going to start a little bit further in with these pictures. We're not going to spend too much time here. Please type in chat. Type your feelings, your ideas, your answers. Oh no, but it was going too fast. Yeah, I know. People be typing fast and then you're, oh no, I can't keep up. Don't worry about it. I ask a question, you take it in, type it in. It doesn't matter if it came out after 300 other people have already answered it. I'm going to look at it later on. I'm going to review the chat and see that you typed. And that's very important to me, to see that people try. Maybe you don't answer all of the questions. Maybe you just answer a couple. Hey, it's good enough. Do what you can. So please look at this picture and tell me what these children in the picture have in common. Type away. What do these children have in common? They're all children. Yeah, that's one thing they have in common. They're about the same age. Could be. They're all working. And that is the central piece here for this class. We're going to talk about child labor. I know that it's a sensitive topic, and maybe you don't think about it when you buy a product, that maybe that product was manufactured by children. We don't think about that very often. Are we part of the problem because we buy a beautiful silk blouse that hundreds of little kids worked on? Are we part of the problem? So that's something to think about. We are, of course, going to listen and read text about it. I'm going to invite everybody, people who don't have the book. I sent you all the pages to our group chat for that exact reason. I sent everyone the pages. The page we're going to start on is the page that says child labor on top. And it's page 132. Looks like this. So we're going to listen and read. I know that some of you, when I'm playing listening passages, it drives me nuts. It really does. When people are like drawing, or they're looking up, or they're like, "Oh, I'm listening. I understand that." Great. You're practicing one skill, listening. But there are 5 abilities in the language: listening, reading, writing, speaking, and thinking. If you only listen to what's being said, you're practicing one of your abilities. But I want you to do 2. Listen and read. It's very important. You will become better spellers if you do that. But I'm not there. I don't know what you're up to. I can't be like, "Hey, look at your book. Open your eyes." I can't do that. But well, maybe I know. Maybe I see you. No, I don't see anybody. So it's up to you. If you want to become better spellers and also practice your fluency and thinking in English, everything, look at the words as you listen. All right. I will stop and ask questions afterwards.
Background: child labour. Have you recently bought a football? Something embroidered? Chocolate? Clothes? If so, there's a good chance you have purchased something made by child labour. Child labour is so widespread in the production of goods and services from so many countries that it can be an enormous challenge to avoid it. The clothing industry in Bangladesh, for example, relies on child labour to keep the cost of production low. For many families in the world, having children who work is necessary to bring in enough money to keep the family going. In Pakistan, for example, nearly 1/5 of the population live below the poverty line. Therefore, families often have to send their children to work. This child labour has consequences. The United Nations has discovered that teenagers are more likely to have accidents than older workers are. We know that more than 150 million children who should be at school are working instead. Half of these children have to do dangerous jobs. This means that many children are killed or injured while at work. There are many reasons why young people are more likely to be injured at work than older workers. Firstly, young people often feel that they cannot say no when they are asked to do a job. In addition, many young workers have to work with dangerous chemicals, especially in farming. A third reason is that these young workers are often migrants who do not understand safety instructions in the local language. On the other hand, a number of signs reveal that things are getting better. The number of young workers actually fell by 90 million between 2000 and 2016. There are more schools in the world now, which means that more and more young people are able to get an education instead of working. In addition, more countries are making laws against child labour. However, there is still a long way to go. 2 countries where English is an official language are among the countries where child labour is most common. Nigeria. Over 15 million children below the age of 14 are child labourers. Girls enter the labour world at an earlier age than boys, often as domestic help in households. Both boys and girls are often involved in agriculture. India, the world's second most populated country, has as many as 33 million child labourers. Some of the places where children in India work include mines, farms, and garment factories. Despite efforts by the Indian government, the number of child workers has increased over recent years. Many children move to the big cities to find work.
Well, I have some questions about what you just listened to. Let's get started, shall we? You know, I never used to wear glasses, but ever since I turned, I think 47, 46, 47, it started to get really difficult for me to read. That happens to almost everybody. Anyway, is everybody ready? I'm not going to ask anything difficult, just stuff that is right in your face, like easy to answer. First question, why is it necessary for some families in the world to have children in the workforce? Please type your answers. One of the answers that you could have used was straight from the text, where it says to bring in enough money to keep the family going. That's pretty much it. Or you could say the families who don't have enough income need children to work so that they can have enough. You can say it in your own words, but if you are taking a test and you're just answering questions, unless it says write it with your own words, you can take it straight from the text and put it in there. Sometimes it's just a matter of seeing if you actually read, that you can identify where you can find the information in the text. Next. Two consequences of child labor. Just type in chat. Two consequences of child labor. Children can have accidents. Some children should be at school and they are at work instead. Those are two. But you could have said a different two. For example, they can get killed doing very dangerous jobs. Also consequences of child labor. Next question. Name the countries mentioned on this text. There are countries mentioned on this text, and they talk about child labor in these countries. Which countries are those? If you said India and Nigeria, you are right. Now we're going to move along with this. I would like you to do the same thing I said from before. Try to look at the words as you listen. I know it's annoying when I keep saying that, but there is a reason for that. Page 133. Let me see. There it is.
Boys Without Names by Kashmira Sheth. When Gopal's family first arrive in the city, they quickly run out of money and have to live on the streets. In the first excerpt, his father, Baba, is talking to a store owner in Mumbai.
You're like thousands of others who poured into Mumbai and its suburbs looking for a better life, the store owner says, opening up an old newspaper. This place is big, but not big enough for everyone. Thousands of others? I don't understand, Baba says. The store owner picks up a page of newspaper, tears it in half, and rolls each into a cone. He fills one with rice and the other with lentils. Yes, every single day people from Bihar, Bengal, Gujarat, Karnataka, Assam, Madhya Pradesh and other states come to this city wanting a good life. We can't feed and give homes to everyone. He mumbles. But we are willing to work and not live on charity, Baba protests. I know, but don't you realize that there are too many people like you looking for work?
Gopal is tricked and kidnapped by someone who says that he can help him to find work to support his family. When he wakes up, he is imprisoned in a run-down building. The boss, who he calls Scar, forces Gopal and several other boys to make picture frames. The boys do not know each other's real names. Gopal gives them nicknames that he can use, like Thick Fingers.
Questions. Why is it difficult? Why is it difficult for Gopal's family to find work in Mumbai? Type your answer. And it doesn't matter that other people have already typed the answer you're going to type. Type it. Because I'm going to look at it later and I'm going to be, oh, that girl, she was there. She was there. All right? Answer with your own words, but here's the deal. If you look at the very beginning of the paragraph, it says, you're like thousands of others who pour into Mumbai and its suburbs looking for a better life. So it means that there's so many people looking for jobs. That's why it's so hard for him, because there are too many people looking for jobs. Next question. What are the children making in that factory? What does Gopal have to make? Gopal is working in a factory. What do they manufacture there? Picture frames is correct. Picture frames. Okay, the next page, page 134. Is this it? No. $134.
He brushes his hair back and holds my gaze. This is what we do. He puts his frame on the desk and spreads a thin layer of glue on one side. His hair has fallen down onto his forehead again. Your turn. I copy him, but the layer of glue is too thick. He slaps my hand. Don't be so wasteful. Use as little glue as possible. My throat is on fire and my eyes water. I can't stop coughing. Thick Fingers snickers. That's what happens when you use too much glue. It gets in your breath and burns as it goes down. So one more reason to use as little as you can, get it? Thick Fingers pinches me hard on the side. I muffle a cry. He points at the paper. This is our design. No mistakes are allowed. Work. If you don't get 4 of these done before lunch, you'll have to work right through and there won't be any food for you. Understand? I nod. It is difficult to work in the silence. Time walks by on its hands, slowly and painfully. Fumes from the glue sting my eyes. Relief comes only when the nimba leaves flutter and the light scent wafts through the room, temporarily masking the stink. Scar pokes his head from halfway up the ladder and motions for Thick Fingers to follow him. After they leave, I whisper to Rocking Boy, "What's your name?" He gives me a blank look that is filled with sadness before he lowers his gaze. I sigh. "You do have a name, don't you?" Rocking Boy looks in the direction of the ladder. He nods. "Tell me, or else I will call you Rocking Boy." Dimpled Chin giggles. I put a finger to my mouth. He whispers, "I like the name Rocking Boy. Can I have it?" "You already have a nice name. I have named you Dimpled Chin. Is it better than Rocking Boy?" "It is for you, because you are the only one with a dimple." Rocking Boy has not answered my question. I give him an encouraging smile. He stays quiet. "Just call him Rocking Boy," Dimpled Chin says. The boy with grey eyes leans over and slaps Dimpled Chin. "You have the biggest mouth on this side of the moon." He is missing 2 front teeth, exposing his yellow gums. Since he is the last in line and closest to the ladder, I ask, "Is someone coming up?" He stares at me. "What's your name?" I whisper. "No names," he hisses. "Here we're anamic, without names," I say. "You are so good at giving names. Why don't you give me one?" I think about it. He has stooped shoulders, grey eyes that are filled with anger, missing teeth, and yellow gums. "How about if I call you Grey Cloud, GC for short?" "Just never talk to me." Today, Scar gives us new patterns. "Here is the thing, boys. You must all do export quality work on these frames. It is a large order, and we have to finish in time for their holiday season. So get going. I won't allow a single mistake." He doesn't wait for us to start work before leaving. "What is export quality?" I ask. "I thought you were the smart one. Don't you know what it means?" GC laughs, making his shoulders hunch even more. Thick Fingers puts his stubby hand up. "Don't bicker, do your work. Export quality means you have to do your best work because these things will be sold in faraway countries."
Questions. Some of the questions I'm asking you are questions that are actually right there on the page. The next question is actually letter C, under where it says understand. What happens when the boys use too much glue? What happens when the boys use too much glue? Type in your answers. Remember, even if somebody else has already answered it, I want to see that you're here. I want to see that you're participating. And if you don't make it in time, that's fine. The next time you try, I want to see your names in chat. I want to see that you're typing, that you're participating as much as you can, or as little as you can, depending on what you're able to do. So what happens? You can talk about what happens physically to the boys, right? The glue goes into their breath and into their nose, and they start coughing, and his eyes sting. Or you can go with the point of view of the other guy who says, "Don't be so wasteful. Don't waste the glue. The glue goes to waste if they use too much." So those are 2 things that happen. Next question, letter D. What happens, or what will happen, if Gopal cannot make enough frames? There's a consequence for him and his family. There won't be enough food. So he is responsible for the family in that sense. Page 136, we're going to finish this. one round of Quizlet Live, and then you have the rest of your class time to work on page 137, number 1, A, B, and C. I will be passing around, of course, a study set. This study set has all the vocabulary words from this chapter. Page 136 should be okay. How do I let me rotate this. There we go. 136.
Which countries? Dimpled Chin asks. I don't know their names, but it doesn't matter to me and shouldn't matter to you. All we have to do is work on the order, Thick Fingers replies. I fill my bead tray, apply glue to a frame, and recreate the pattern on the frame as fast as I can. My palm is so sweaty that I can't keep a firm grip on the blunt needle that I use to pick up beads. It keeps sliding away. I wipe my hands on my shorts often, but that slows me down. The only good part is that everyone else is doing the same thing. How far will these frames travel? Will they cross the oceans on a boat or fly on a plane? Who are the lucky people who will buy them? Maybe one will end up in a young girl's room. She will never know a young boy like her made the frame with his sweat and tears while his heart ached for his family.
The boys begin to dream about escaping or even attacking Scar, but none of them dares to make the first move. However, one day Scar gets sick. Gopal is sent out to buy sweets for him. He thinks about running away, but quickly realizes that Scar will punish the other boys for this. Instead, he hatches a plan. He will tell somebody about what has happened and ask for help.
The sweet shop is mobbed with shoppers. Maybe if I can write a note, I can slip it to the shopkeeper. Maybe he is as nice as the owner of the Deepak food store. I remember I have a pencil tucked in my raincoat, but I don't have a piece of paper. Then an idea comes to me. I have a 50-rupee note on which I can write. Quickly, I move away a few steps, take out the pencil, and fold open the bill and rest it on the raincoat. On one side is the picture of Mahatma Gandhi. I try to write on the same side. My hands tremble so much that first I have to take a few deep breaths. Please rescue us. We are 6 boys in the old building 3 streets down by the nimba tree with the broken branch. Please hurry. What do you want? The shopkeeper bends down and asks. I have enough money for a small box of sweets. I hand him the money. He opens the bill, and everything seems to stop for me. He pauses, his eyebrows go up, and his face becomes stiff. Then, instead of handing my money to the man with the cash box, he slips it into his shirt pocket. He picks up a small box and gives it to me. Don't worry, he says.
Do you think Gopal and the other boys will manage to escape from Scar? Go to citizens.cdu.no to find out.
Questions. The first question kind of starts on the other page a little bit. The first question I'm going to ask, of course, it's letter B on 136. What does export quality mean, according to what is said on the text? It's actually on page 134 at the very bottom, paragraph 7. Please type it in, type your answers in. Yes, you have to do your best work because these things will be sold in faraway countries. The next question, I'm going to go to A now. What names does Gopal make up for the other boys? So one had the name that had to do with this. What is that called? I don't have it. I'm faking one. A chin dimple. So he called him something because he had that dimple. Right? That was a name that he made. What was the other one? He made up a few names. Rocking Boy. All kinds of cute names, since they were not allowed to say their names for a reason, of course, to keep their work anonymous. Last but not least, what does Gopal think about while he's making the frames to export? For export or to export. Come on, type it. I'm doing this because I'm thinking you're on your laptop, but if you have your phone and you're doing this, which I never understood because I actually type with the one thumb. I don't use both of my. I guess I would type on my phone a lot faster if I did this, how people do it, but I don't. Yes? What does he think about? So he's making the picture frames and he's thinking about the people who will receive it. Thinking about the picture frame in somebody's room. So he's thinking all the way ahead what's going to happen as a positive consequence of his work. So he cares about what he's making, which is kind of sad that he is a child and working, but it's beautiful how he is thinking about the quality of his work and how somebody will actually benefit from it. So here is what I want you to do. I'm going to post this study set on our group chat, and I'm going to want you to go to match. I'm going to check on it to see who is there and who. I want to see how well you're going to do. I don't want to do too well because I want you to do well on this. I want to be in last place so that you can be in first place. So I want everybody to do match. I want everybody to also participate in the Quizlet Live. Let's start with the Quizlet Live now. See, so I put in 41.3 seconds. So that's pretty lame. I want you to beat that score first thing that you do when you come in. Let's do one round of Quizlet Live. Just a one round. And then we're going to go and work on the writing. The instructions are on Canvas, all the pages that you are supposed to read, and the exercise, everything is on Canvas for you. I was able to actually log in from home today. I can't always do that, so that's why I keep asking you, please go to our group chat, because I can always get into that. So as soon as you see the code, get straight in. I'm going to go and start the game with the first 15 people. Just a one round. Going to Canvas for instructions. If you need anything, I'm available today all the way until 2:15. But you know me, like if you send me a message and reach out to me depending on the time, if I'm available, I'll answer it. I'm pretty much available 24/7, more or less. If I don't reply, it's because something is going on, but I try to be as available as possible. It's really important with what's going on in the world right now. See you all later.